Hi everybody, welcome back to The Seasoned Vegan. Today I am going to be teaching you how I make a vegan shepherd's pie. Since it's officially fall, it's the perfect time to make a shepherd's pie. It feels so classic and cozy and wonderful. So let me show you everything that you need, all the ingredients, so that you can make it for yourself and enjoy a slice. And yes, this is a dirty plate. That's because this is my second slice, okay? So there. Okay, so let's first get into the ingredients, and I'm going to break it up kind of into two different sections. So this is the meat and vegetable mixture here. For this, we're going to need peas and carrots, some Worcestershire sauce, some oil, black pepper, rosemary, dried thyme. Oh, I'm actually showing it to you. Here you go. Rosemary right there, thyme. And then we have a yellow onion right here. And this is something new I found, and I really like it. It's a vegan beef bouillon, so that I can make vegetable or a bouillon beef broth. And then I'm using Impossible ground beef today. This is just kind of my favorite thing to make shepherd's pie with, but you could also go ahead and make yours with lentils or any other type of vegan meat that you know of and love. Oh, and then also we're going to be using garlic, tomato paste, and some flour. Sounds like a lot, but I'll show you how it all comes together, okay? So that's the meat and vegetable mixture. Now we're going to shift over here, and this is what we're going to need to make our mashed potatoes. And I don't know about you guys, but I am a potato lover. I just love potatoes. So mashed potatoes are delicious to me. So we got russet potatoes, butter, salt, garlic powder, some soy milk, and some nutritional yeast, okay? So those are all the ingredients. All the measurements are going to be in the description below, so don't worry about any of that, okay? So step number 1 is to thaw our meat, because I left it in the freezer and it's hard as a freaking rock. Don't you hate when this happens, when you leave it in the freezer? Anyway, before I thaw it, I'm going to just show you guys the nutrition facts. You can pause right here if anyone's interested. And to thaw it, I just put it in the microwave on defrost for a minute on each side. So the second step is to chop up our onion. We're just doing a nice dice. And then we're going to cook our onion in 2 tablespoons of oil on medium heat for about 5 minutes. And then after the 5 minutes, we are going to be adding in our ground meat and our seasonings. So we're just going to get a nice kind of brown on these onions, clear a little space for our meat, and put the meat right in there. And since I thawed it a little bit, or defrosted it rather, in the microwave, it's easy to break apart. It's still a little frozen, but my spatula can get right through that, and as it cooks, it'll be able to break down even more. And I am going in with 2 blocks of Impossible meat because I want to make 2 shepherd's pies today. I figure if I'm going through the hassle of making a shepherd's pie, which is actually pretty easy to make, I might as well make 2, right? So now I'm adding in my seasonings at this point. I've got my rosemary leaves, my thyme leaves. I'm also going to be adding my salt and my pepper at this point as well. And then we're going to mix it all together, brown it up for it took about 8 minutes for it to get nice and brown for me. So about that long. It's less about the time though, you guys, and it's more about just watching the ingredients and seeing when they're done. That's something that I learned as I started cooking more, because I would always be like, well, how long do I cook it? What's the exact time? And there's not really exact times. It's more like as long as it takes, you know? All right, so the next step is to add the Worcestershire sauce. That is such a hard word to say. And our minced garlic, okay? So like I said, it was just 2 cloves of garlic. Actually, I don't know if I said that, but I'm saying it now. So 2 cloves of garlic going in to our browned meat and seasoning. And I cooked that for about a minute or 2. And now I'm adding in my tomato sauce, or tomato paste rather. My tomato paste and my vegetable broth, which is actually vegan beef broth. And I'm going to show you guys more of the details about the beef broth that I found, because I really like it. And it was cheap. It was very, very inexpensive. I got this at Sprouts. And what I like about it is I don't have to keep it in the fridge. I just keep it in my pantry, and I use one of the bouillon cubes as needed for, a cup of broth. So I'll show you. Here's the cube. Comes with 8 cubes. And what you do is you just put them in hot water and you mix it up, and that's your broth right there. Easy peasy. So here's the cube out of its wrapping. So yeah, it dissolves very easily in water, and yeah, very easy. I like it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. So now what we're going to do is just kind of let that simmer for a little bit. Now, I did walk away and I got a little distracted with Captain, and the bottom of my pan did get a little brown. So what I did was I added in some vegan red wine, and I went ahead and I stirred that up just to deglaze the pan, and it actually added so much extra delicious flavor. So that is an optional step, but highly recommended because it turned out really, really good. All right, next we're going to be adding in our flour, just to help it all combine, and our vegetables, which are peas and carrots. I know some people like to put corn in their shepherd's pie, but I'm not one of those people. I just like classic peas and carrots. That is it. Bada boom, bada bang. And these are just like frozen peas and carrots. Easy. So go ahead and stir that in well, make sure everything is well incorporated, and that's it. That's the meat mixture. Make sure you always give it a taste test. See if you need to add any salt or pepper, see if anything is needed. If not, go ahead and remove it from the heat while you get your mashed potatoes ready. There we go, and as you can see, it was just so good I kept taking bites of it. I actually ate quite a bit of the meat mixture as I was cooking because I was hungry and it was so darn good. So good. Just makes me feel like fall. I love it. All right, our next step is to chop and peel. I guess I should say peel and chop because that's the correct order, our potatoes. And I am using 4 russet potatoes, and they were on the larger side because, like I said, I'm a mashed potato fan. So if I'm making mashed potatoes, I'm making extra mashed potatoes. So what we do with potatoes is we add cold water. We don't put them directly in hot water. We put them in cold water, and we let the potatoes and the water come to a boil together. I didn't know that for the longest time, but now I do, and now you do too. So we're going to cover it with a lid and let it come to a boil. For me, it took about, 5 to 8 minutes to come to a boil. And then when it does come to a boil, we're going to take off the lid and just let them simmer for about 15 minutes. And after that 15 minutes, then we're going to drain the potatoes. And I like to add them back to the hot pan to evaporate any excess moisture. I leave them in the hot pan. The stove is off, but the pan is still hot for about like a minute or two just to evaporate any extra moisture. And then I go in and I put all of the add-ins, like the seasonings, the butter, the milk, the nutritional yeast, all of that goes in. And then I get my masher and I mash it all up. So here we go, and I really like to add nutritional yeast because I think it gives my potatoes a really kind of cheesy, seasoned feel or taste, and I think it's so good. Also, you guys know how much I love nutritional yeast along with every other vegan on the planet because it's just a nutritional powerhouse. I really like it, so whenever I can sneak it into dishes, I will. And it's not really sneaking, it's like throwing in dishes where I can because I just love it so much. It's full of B12 and it just tastes so cheesy and flavorful. It adds such a oomph to dishes. So there goes my nutritional yeast, about 1/4 cup, I'd say. Next is the fun part. We get to mash it up. I don't know why I said it's the fun part. I don't really like mashing. It takes time, but just throw on some music or a show or have a good conversation with someone around and mash away. And I did add only half of the milk that I needed. And as I mash, I add in more milk as I go because I like a creamier mashed potato. So here we go. I added more of the milk there. And then I just mash for about 5 minutes until it gets to my desired consistency. I don't need my mashed potatoes to be very, very, very creamy and smooth. If you do, then you keep on mashing, but I'm pretty easygoing. So our next step is to assemble the pies. So we're going to put the meat mixture first. And like I said, I'm making 2 pies because why not? And then we're going to put the mashed potatoes on second. And my mashed potato layer did end up being a little thicker than my meat layer. I typically like them to be even, but it is what it is today. Like I said, I used extra mashed potatoes or extra potatoes, so maybe in the description below I'll put use 3 to 4 potatoes depending on, your preference. If you like it potato heavy, go ahead and have 4. If you prefer more meat mixture, just use 3. But here we go. Just go ahead and smooth the potatoes out. Make sure that all of the meat mixture is completely covered and tucked in with the potato on top. And then I like to take my fork and just run some lines for extra, presentation. I just think it looks very rustic and charming. It's kind of how I've always done it, but totally not necessary. Design it however you want to. And here I go, putting my nutritional yeast on top. I honestly need a shaker bottle for my nutritional yeast because I keep doing it with my hands and it doesn't land the way I want it to. It looks a little splotchy, but whatever. Last step, you guys, we made it to the end. We're going to bake this thing at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes. And when it comes out of the oven, this is what it will look like. Absolutely glorious. Here they both are. Hey, where's the round one? Should be coming any moment. Here it is. Okay, so here they both are, and I'm going to cut into them and show you what they look like on the outside, or on the inside, excuse me. So look at that. Oh, it's just making my mouth water so good. I think I'm going to go have some leftovers after I film this, or record this voiceover. So here they are from the side. You can see the meat mixture down there with the potato on top. So good, you guys. All right, let's cut into this. Let's get ourselves a slice. Oh, after we look at it more closely, I guess. A little close-up action for you guys. There we go. Okay, can we cut into it already? Oh my gosh. Here we go. Let's get a slice. And I got a small slice, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I went back for seconds, I went back for thirds, and was I satisfied. This is one of those dishes where you really do want to make a lot, especially if you're sharing it with people, because it goes fast. It really does. We're already done with one of the pies, and I made it yesterday. But if you do end up making 2, you guys, and you won't eat through both of them, just go ahead and throw the other one in the freezer. I like to call it a miracle in the freezer for those nights when you don't want to cook. You pull this out of the freezer, bada boom, bada bang, baby. You got yourself your evening back. So, let's show you guys up close in here. Look at that deliciousness. That vegan deliciousness. So good. Nice and steamy. Absolutely divine. Alright, well, that's pretty much all that I have for you guys today. That's how you make a vegan shepherd's pie. I hope you guys make it. I hope you love it. Who am I kidding? I know you're gonna love it. It's so good. But yeah, just enjoy fall. Make this for yourself and feel all cozy and awesome. Alright, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you later on in the week for another video. We're going to be making cookies next time, so stay tuned. Bye bye!